Bonjour, my British Jones. Ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Comme ci, comme ça. If you don't speak French, by the way, I should point out what I just said was hello, which is bonjour, and ça va is how are you? Some people might say ça va bien, merci, which is I'm very well, thank you. But some more of you out there might say they're very French, comme ci, comme ça, which is a little bit okay, a little bit not okay. I don't really know. Let's see how the day goes. And I completely understand. These are very scary times. Some of you might be feeling very sad and unsure about what is going on. Well, that is totally fine. The people at My Journey have asked me to come here and talk to you about what we can all do to help each other in this time of crisis and look after our mental health. So, first of all, introductions. I am James Moore, and I am an Englishman. I know, I don't sound it, do I? I was born near Bury St. Edmunds, and when I was but 4 years old, I moved to France. Not by myself, don't worry. I was with my father, my mother, and my older brother, Alfred. The problem was, you see, when we moved to France when I was little, my parents, they could not speak the French. No. My father was a blacksmith. He'd always wanted to work in Paris. He got the opportunity and set up, but could not speak the language. My mother, though, could not speak French. My brother could not speak French. None of them could. None of us could. At all. Imagine the scariness. Imagine the times you were completely alone in a totally foreign place in Paris. We could not speak a word of French at all. But the people helped us. Our neighbors, people who lived around the city, they would talk to us all and pass on the French. Because I was very little and the children's demands are like a sponge, I soon picked up the language very, very easily. Oh yes. And as I began to travel around, I picked up more of the language too. People were very generous and kind and sharing. They told me lots and lots of new words and phrases. And it wasn't long until I myself, little Jimmy, Petit Jimmy, was walking around Paris, passing messages for my father, settling bills and getting supplies for him. Oh, I was very happy. Now I could talk to all the French people in Paris and wander about and see the city for the first time. But I was very tired. I was only very little. As the years passed, I still was very, very tired indeed. My poor little Jimmy legs, they were so exhausted. I would get home and I would be so tired I would throw a childish tantrum when you wave your arms and kick your legs and expend more energy telling people how tired you are than you did actually doing the things that made you tired in the first place. I was very, very upset. But then, some people, my neighbors, came to help me. And I had very unusual neighbors. Not too far from our house in Paris was the Champs-Élysées. And on the Champs-Élysées was a circus. The summer circus. And the people there became my friends. I would see them rehearsing before the big shows and they would show me their tricks. They showed me the juggling. The clowns showed me the comedy. I would learn the trapezes and the flipping and the acrobatics. Oh, by the time I was 17 years old, I could do a backflip between 2 trapezes. Are you ready? Here we go. Obviously, the space was off camera, but it was amazing just then. I'm sorry you missed it. Oh, yes. I did all of those tricks. And you know, I began to cheer up. I got stronger because of the exercise, and it was great because there was loads of people there. But mostly, it was because of the chemical in my brain and in all of your brains. Right out there now, if you do exercise, a chemical in your brain is released called serotonin. Say it with me. Say it with my outrageous accent. Are you ready? Serotonin. Well done. It makes you happy. It is a chemical in your mind that releases with exercise that makes you happy. Well, this was even better. I began to get stronger and fitter and grow further and further and further. I stopped by the circus every day to learn new tricks and to exercise. And my favorite thing in all the world? The horses. Watching the horse races, backwards and forwards and do their tricks. Oh, it was incredible. I begged my father for an horse. I wanted one for my birthday. He said we could not afford it. I said I wanted one for Christmas. He said it would not fit underneath the tree and he couldn't wrap it anyway. I would go to see the horses every day and the man who looked after them, he told me, the key, Petit Jimmy, that's me, the key to winning a horse race is not to lose all of your energy in the first few moments. You see some horses and some riders, they go crazy right away. By the time they reach the finish, they are exhausted. You must pace yourself. Save your energy to the end. When you can see the finish, only then unleash your power and ride as hard as you can. Oh, that sounds like very good advice. Thank you very much. It would come in very, very handy, because I get even more sad by the fact that I did not have an horse, and more people came to help. More people shared their time and their skills. More people in the neighborhood showed me their kindness, because right across the street from us lived the Michaud family. Now, you might not know who they are. The Michaud family were very famous at the time for engineering great bicycles. Now, we didn't call them bicycles then, we called them velocipedes, and their better name, more familiar to you, is bone shakers. That's right, they had no suspension. They were mostly made of wood and metal. No fancy tires or springs like you have these days. No. The bone shakers. Sorry, that was you would rattle when you were trying to ride the bike down the street. But they were all the rage. They became very popular. And when I was 16 years old, in 1865, Ernie Michaud, along with his brother Pierre, made a very special bike for me. I used some of the money from my part-time jobs to buy it at a great discount, and I was so happy. The front wheel was a lot bigger than the back wheel, and it had pedals. I know, pedals had only just been put on bikes. Before then, people had rode them around with their feet like the balance bikes you have now, yes, and the scooters, which is very good. Get some good exercise on a balance bike and on a scooter, but you have the pedals on the back. Well, there were no fancy gears like now. The ratio of gears was 1 to 1. There was only one speed, and there was a very low gear, but at least you could push and pedal your bike at great speeds. The velocipedists on their bone shakers used to meet at the park in Saint-Cloud in Paris. Every weekend, they would show off their cycling skills, they would show off their riding and their stunts. And I wanted to join in, so now I had a bike. I could go further. I could go further in the city and explore and see more and have great adventures and open my horizons and my mind. I eventually, when I was 18 years old, I joined a cycling club. And the club, as I said, would meet at the park in Saint-Cloud every weekend, and we would show off. It became so popular that some people decided to organize a proper bike race. I mean several bike races at the park. And on the 31st of May, 1868, they organized it to happen. We all came along. The Olivier brothers, very important people in velocipede manufacture, had planned everything. They had even invited members of the French nobility who were going to watch. There were lots of warm-up races too, and events for the crowds, but then the first race, the proper one, happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 31st of May, 1868. We had to race our velocipedes from the start all the way to the fountain, just over 1,000 meters away, and then back. Not very long. There were me and 5 others in the race. I was very nervous. I had not been riding as long as the other people had, and I wanted to show them that I was as good as they. And then I remembered what it was that the owner of the horses at the summer circus said. Wait. Pace yourself. Wait until you can see the finish line, and then unleash all of your speed. So I did exactly that. It was time to start. We went off. Okay, I'll don't do the shaking so you can understand me. We rode, and people started to overtake me. On the sides, they were faster. On the sides, they were faster. Soon enough, everyone was in front of me. Oh no, what was I going to do? They got to the fountain, they spun around it. They went back the other way. They were quicker. I waited until I could see the finish line. And then I sprinted as fast as I could. I unleashed all of my power and all of my speed, and I won the race. I came in first position, but I did not win that race alone. Even though there could only be one cyclist cross the finish line, I did not do it by myself, did I? I was helped by the Michaud family, who had made me that bike and sold it to me. I was helped by the man who had given me the vase at the circus, and I had trained with the acrobats and the trapeze artists to become fit and strong and happy too. And the people of France, they had shown me their language. They had taught me how to speak. If I did not know, I would not be able to join the cycling club at all. Nobody wins anything completely by themselves. I had all of those people, my neighbors, my community, supporting me with their friendship, their sharing, and their kindness. And that is something we can all do in times of crisis. The My Journey team have set up an amazing website page. I suspect there may be a link around this place to it on their well-being page. Go there, search for it, find it through the links and through the internet. There's loads and loads to do. You can download toolkits to help you. There's stuff to do inside and outside. You could maybe draw a picture or write a message to a neighbor and post something through the door. You could put things in your window, maybe spot the different puzzles. There's loads of different things you can do and loads of different sites you can visit to hear stories. You could even go to the Histrionics Entertainment History at Home site on YouTube. I hear they do lots of amazing performances about history. What talented and good-looking people, I'm sure they are. Remember, you're not on your own. If you're looking after your mental health, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of places you can go to make you feel better on a daily basis, to cheer you up. Remember, even though it is much more difficult to see each other, we're all still here. We're all still together. And it is together that we will win. Thank you very much indeed for listening, everybody out there in internet land. Remember, visit the My Journey website and have a look on their well-being page. Have a look at the Histrionics History at Home page too, and have a look around at all the different and incredible and amazing links there are on the My Journey site for stuff for you to do to improve your mental health and release the serotonin. Take care out there and stay safe.